Ice World has finally arrived, with a funny game modes. The new world is coming to Squadbusters very soon. The wait is over. Absolutely all players will have the opportunity to test the new world, even if you have not reached it yet. Ice World will be at step 90 of the squad journey, moving the squad lead to step 120. It also introduces new characters that we will test later, new maps with surprises, and for new modifiers. Let's play to the first game mode. The Super Ice Spirit modifier is really cool. Giant ice spirits are appearing and jumping on the whole map. Let's talk a bit about Ice World. Snow has arrived in Squadbusters. This new world includes 3 new maps that we will explore by playing the different modes in this video. The world also has many new monsters, and you have probably already noticed some of them. I will introduce them to you one by one, and some are really cool and well designed. This world brings its own unique features. Some areas are slippery, there are snowmen, and some monsters we know are more resistant because they are covered in ice. I hope your characters are all evolved to at least level 3. We will come back to that in a few seconds. Let's talk about the mode where the giant ice spirits give a lot of gems and spawn small ice spirits when they are eliminated. As you can see, the end of the matches is quite intense. There are things happening everywhere. It's even a bit chaotic in this world. In particular, I feel like there are a lot more monsters than before, or that they spawn faster. I also think they have more health and deal more damage. Anyway, I have a great feeling playing this mode, especially in the ice world. I just wonder one thing, will the feeling to play this modifier in the other worlds the same? I honestly think it could be a bit weird. Anyway, it's time to move on to the second modifier, and it's pretty cool too. The Golems Meteor modifier is really great. Basically, golems appear from the sky like meteors, dealing damage to your squad if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Also, these golems are a bit different since they spawn more gems when eliminated, so aim to bust a lot of these special golems. Anyway, as promised, it's now time to talk about all the monsters of this new world. The first one is the Yeti. He has a lot of health and throws these kinds of blobs that follow you and deal damage. He's a mini-boss, so he will give you a good amount of gems. The second one is this beautiful and big purple dragon, probably the one with the most health and dealing the most damage of all the new monsters. I absolutely love the style and the color, but he is also terrifying. This kind of giant guard is really cool. You will have to attack his back to deal damage because if you aim at his shield, he will almost take no damage. I love that Squad is trying to add enemies with special ways to beat them. The Ice Golem from Clash Royale is here, but he's way better. He deals area damage and throws ice. You should really not underestimate him. We also have the Ice Guard, still giving lots of gems and the most annoying unit in the game, the Ice Bomber. I absolutely hate this monster. He's terrible. And finally, the one we already saw, the Ice Spirit. I love the way they made it. He looks so friendly. Let's go back to the modifier. As usual, the last minute is going to be intense. Golems are arriving from everywhere, and everything is centered in the same place. I have the feeling, when playing this world, that the middle of the maps is so small, making it mandatory to play against others and bust monsters. Right now, I'm playing against bots, so it's okay, but I'm sure that playing against real people, with the modifier and this map, is going to be a nightmare. So many things happening in the same place, nowhere to really escape. Or at least limited escape routes it's pretty hard, I think. Anyway, let's talk about the third mode, my favorite because it is really funny. Let's go. The 1 coin chest modifier, which we will call the cheap chest modifier because it's easier, is absolutely golden. You can build your squad quickly, and you are not really dependent on what the chests give you to progress and build your squad. A bad drop. Then it's okay. I just run to the nearest chest and try again to get the character I want. I just noticed something. I'm pretty sure that the chest respawn is a bit longer than with the other modifiers, but I'm not sure and didn't have the time to confirm. That's something you will have to discover for yourself. Despite loving this mod, I also think it can be a trap. I mean, the first time I tested it, I almost forgot that I'm competing and looking for gems, not characters. I honestly think that many players, in their first game with this modifier, will completely forget about gems. They will have a gigantic squad, but no gems. I think it will be pretty funny. When playing, I was wondering what kind of squad you should build. Should you try to open as many chests as you can to build an offensive squad to rush? Or, on the contrary, take advantage of the mod. Choose a lot of suppliers such as Mavis and Trader, and just farm as much as you can while opening chests to ensure you have a lot of suppliers and earn by farming. I'm really curious to see all the strategies this modifier can create because it's probably one of the most strategic, in my opinion. Like you can see with this game, I did a lot just opening chests during the whole game and during the 40 last seconds. Decided to become more offensive, to rush monsters and enemies, because I didn't have a lot of gems. It's so satisfying to open chests the whole game that you forgot the most important. I clearly believe that this modifier is really super fun, and it is already of my favorite. Anyway, the last modifier is bringing a brand new mechanic to the game. Let's test it. This gem hot pot modifier is really innovative because it lets you take this hot pot filled with gems. As long as you have it above you, it will drop gems all around you, which you can then collect. At first look, this seems fun, but as you can see, I feel like it doesn't give enough gems. There are a few more when it disappears, but it doesn't seem sufficient or worthwhile. You have to take risks to get it, then take more risks because other players who see the gems dropping will want to collect them, meaning there will be a lot of players around you who won't leave you alone. And since the gems fall next to you, it's not even certain that you'll be the one to collect them. It seems like too big of a risk, and I think it should make things easier for the person who is the hot pot. Honestly, I think it's much simpler to take your time with Mavis, Trader, and Bandit, collecting your own gems by farming, rather than taking risks for too few gems. This mode is really nice, but I think taking the gem hot pot should be way more rewarding. Anyway, watching the end of the game, I can now tell you all about Ice World in detail. The mode arrives in 3 days with a special event. You'll see, it's pretty cool. Then, the world will permanently appear in the squad journey at tier 90, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. It will be permanently in the game on July 1st. If you're already in Squad League, I strongly advise you to stop upgrading your characters until the world is released, to avoid wasting your upgrades and portal energies. I also want to remind you that I have my creator code, Vadowki, which works in all supercell games. Thank you so much for the support, really. Anyway, as you can see, this game is less intense than the previous ones, in my opinion. I'm trying to find a technique to see if the gems are held by the thorns so I can stack them, but that's not the case. From what I can see, the cauldron gives around 150 gems, which is both decent and not enough. To show you the novelty, I'm obviously going to get it, but honestly, I think this is one of the modes that doesn't really change the game. We are close to the end, so thanks for watching. I tried to show more gameplay this time. This is a test, and I really wonder if you prefer this format or when I show everything briefly with more editing. Let me know. Anyway, see you soon.